I'll come out here and do what I do. Be sharp in OTAs, fall camp, whatever we got. It's the same mindset for me. Attack it. Just have a good mindset and come in, try to prepare like the starter.
Saints second-year quarterback Spencer Rattler is ready for his opportunity now, with Derek Carr more likely than not going to miss the 2025 NFL season due to a shoulder injury. There is no chance better than the one being presented in front of Spencer Rattler right now, and he is getting ready to take advantage of it to the fullest. We're talking about Spencer Rattler, the Saints second-year quarterback, getting ready for his huge opportunity to be the Saints starting quarterback in today's video. Before I continue though, make sure to subscribe to my channel. We're trying to hit 10K this year, and 72% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed, so double check. It's free and it helps me and the channel grow a lot. For those of you who missed it, we got huge news on Friday about the Saints and their starting quarterback Derek Carr, and that he'll most likely miss the 2025 season. This news came out of nowhere, and I don't think anybody really saw this coming, but Ian Rappaport put it out there saying suddenly the Saints have a major QB question. They did before the injury, but this puts it in huge, not panic mode, but it makes it more glaring. Starting quarterback Derek Carr is now dealing with a shoulder injury that threatens his availability for the season, according to Ian Rappaport. Derek Carr is weighing his options, including the possibility of having surgery. Now, this is obviously significant for the New Orleans Saints in both a good and a bad way. In the bad way, in terms of Derek Carr gave the Saints the best chance to win games in 2025. He's the only quarterback on the roster for the Saints who has a career win with the Saints, who has won an NFL game. And when you look at him and compare him to Rattler, Haener, Ben DiNucci, he obviously is the best of the bunch. So losing him is significant because now your chances of winning games drop more than it did before. And on top of that, you just don't want to see players get injured. You don't wish injuries on anyone, which is why this news is also significant. And I hope Derek Carr does recover from this injury well, whether he gets surgery or not. Hope he recovers well for his own health and all that. I may dislike him, but that's on the field. Off the field, he's still a person and all that. But the good aspect of this news and Derek Carr missing the season is it kind of forces the Saints to go into a rebuild mode and head towards a new era, which is what we all wanted when the Saints hired Kellen Moore. We wanted them to move on from Derek Carr and just start fresh. And now, while Derek Carr will be technically on the roster, the Saints this season will have a new head coach, no ties to Sean Payton, a whole new coaching staff with very minimal ties to Sean Payton, if any, and now a new quarterback to go along with this new era of the coaching staff. And as Derek Carr has likely taken his last snap as a Saint, which was his dive versus the New York Giants, which he got injured on. And I say he's likely played his last snap as a Saint because his future was already up in the air this season. Next year, same questions, bigger cap hit. The Saints might be in a better position to move off of him salary cap wise. I think he's definitely played his last snap for the Saints. So with Derek Carr having a season-ending injury, that leaves a lot of questions as to what the team will do at the quarterback position. There's obviously the draft. They could take one. There's some guys out there in free agency, but at this point, you're not really getting a big name free agent at the quarterback position. But today, I wanted to talk about the second-year quarterback Spencer Rattler, who I believe showed some good things in year one in a bad situation. With that being said, he also had some things to work on. There were some inconsistencies between the first and second half. There are some issues with his accuracy. There are some pocket awareness and ball protection issues. He wasn't perfect. He had his issues, and I'm not saying that he should be the starter. I'm saying he has a huge opportunity in front of him, and he needs to take advantage of it. But I do think he showed some good things, and there is some potential and talent to work off of. But also, if you're Kellen Moore, you're not selling yourself on a 5th round pick quarterback and your first year as an NFL head coach. So there are some issues with Spencer Rattler, just like with any rookie quarterback, let alone a 5th round pick quarterback. There's going to be things that need to be cleaned up and polished. But given his situation as well, I don't think we got a true fair evaluation either of what he could truly actually be. I'm not calling him the franchise quarterback. I'm not saying, to start him. I'm saying he showed some good things, and I think with the full NFL offseason in Kellen Moore's scheme, maybe with some healthy players and not Walmart employees at offensive line and receiver, I think he could definitely be better and we'd get a true evaluation and not this uncertainty. Now, there's a huge opportunity right now for Spencer Rattler with Derek Carr being injured. There's no really other options at quarterback for the Saints as of right now. And we'll see if that changes over the next month or so with the draft or a free agent signing. And I do think regardless of what they do need to sign a free agent quarterback. Just get a veteran in the building, have a good presence, and be a solid, okay backup QB. Or a starter depending on what they do. But Rattler is making it known that he is ready for the opportunity being presented in front of him. A day after the Derek Carr news broke, Spencer Rattler made it known that he's ready to be the team's QB, posting a photo of him at the Saints facility. He knew exactly what he was doing, posting this a day after the Derek Carr news. Posted this to his story at the Saints facility, got the cleats, getting ready to work, and you gotta love it. The Saints have voluntary workouts on Monday, and he's sending a message that he's there early and ready for a real chance and ready to get to work with the team, competing with the guys around him. Nick Underhill also put this out saying it sounds like Spencer Rattler is all in on his preparation for the season. He'll be in attendance on Monday when the voluntary offseason program opens up. As we just saw, he was there actually a few days early. So not only was he there a few days before the program starts, but he was there for voluntary stuff. Optional. He doesn't have to be there, but he is. He's getting ready to showcase what he can do. At the end of the 2024 season, during the locker room cleanout stuff, Spencer Rattler actually said that he was going to be preparing to be the starting quarterback and competing to be the starting NFL quarterback for the Saints this offseason, regardless of what was going to happen. This is before the Derek Carr news, before Kellen Moore was hired. Now he's got the exact opportunity that he said he's been preparing for.
I mean, it's the same mindset for me, regardless. Whatever happens, I'll come out here and do what I do. Be sharp in OTAs, fall camp, whatever we got. So when you put the ball down, we're gonna play ball. It's the same mindset for me. Attack it, and whatever happens, just have a good mindset and come in, try to prepare like the starter.
Spencer Rattler has been busy this offseason, putting in work and getting ready for year two. This is a huge offseason for him. His first NFL full offseason. Last season, he was obviously transitioning to the NFL, preparing for the draft, combine, questions. I might have been still finishing up school, moving to New Orleans. Now, that transition is not there. It's going to be easier for him to be training and get ready for the NFL year two, now that he has a full year under his belt and has a whole offseason to prepare. Ross Jackson tweeted out saying that he was told that Rattler has been hard at work all offseason, including with his quarterback coach, Mike Glavando. He's had specific focuses such as flexibility, pocket movement. I'm assuming that's going to help with his pocket awareness and stepping up in the pocket, tightening mechanics, and a lot more, which is good. He needed to be working on some of the stuff. He needs to be polished. There are some things that he needs to clean up, and it sounds like he's attacking those things. And Spencer Rattler is there early for the offseason workouts as the Saints get to work on Monday. That's when the programs begin. Some of the offseason training includes linking up with Saints wide receiver Kevin Austin Jr. in Arizona, getting some work in with one of his teammates. You love to see that. But one of the more interesting things was that he got to work with two wide receivers in this NFL draft, and Tet McMillan out of Arizona, possible top 10 pick. And he also got to work with Alec Manor, possible second round pick, wide receiver out of Stanford. Both of them body types that the Saints could use at the receiver position. Getting to work with them, very interesting as well. Now, the biggest factor for Spencer Rattler is what head coach Kellen Moore thinks about him. Kellen Moore took the job with the intent of having Derek Carr be his starting quarterback this season, and now he's injured and is likely out for the year, so now circumstances have changed. Does Kellen Moore want to make developing Spencer Rattler a priority, or does he want to draft someone? We know that him, along with the rest of the team, have been doing a lot of homework on quarterbacks this year. That was before the Derek Carr injury, and I think that was smart of them to be doing homework on quarterbacks this season, because obviously Spencer Rattler does not prevent you from drafting someone. He's shown some good things, but he hasn't shown you enough to say, I should be starting him, he should be a priority. And Kellen Moore, as a first-time head coach, wants to find his quarterback and not have someone else's QB. And does he view Spencer Rattler as Clint Kubiak's guy, the same way how Derek Carr is viewed as Dennis Allen's guy? All of this factors into what they think about Spencer Rattler. Kellen Moore was asked about Spencer Rattler at the NFL owners meetings, I believe, and this is what he had to say about the second-year quarterback.
Yeah, really good player. Obviously, we went through the evaluation process last year when we were in Philadelphia, just watching him at South Carolina. Good player, tons of tools.
It's interesting how in Philadelphia that they're evaluating Rattler out of South Carolina. That's interesting to me.
Obviously, he played in some challenging circumstances, and I think that's an important context as we kind of evaluated it.
That's important to know, and I'm glad that he knows that. He seems like a very smart person and football coach. He knows that he showed some good things in a troubling context situation. Injured O-line, no Alvin Kamara, no Taysom Hill, no wide receivers, practice squad guys as his starting guys. Really, I'm glad that he knows about the context of the situation. And I kind of figured he did, but it's nice to hear him talk about it.
You want to make sure he's going through the right process. Is he making good decisions? Is he going through his progressions? Is he hanging in the pocket? You saw a lot of those things. Results can be a little bit uncontrolled variables a little bit in his circumstances, and so
such as wins. He went 0-6 as a starter, but there's more than just him playing poorly that led to that. It's a team effort.
We're excited to continue to build and develop him as he goes through his second offseason. I think that's always a big.
He did say he plans to develop him, which is important, and he's going to talk about the second offseason, which we already mentioned already, but let's hear him talk about it.
That second offseason for a lot of guys is a huge jump. Your first year, you're just swimming. Any player, this is your first offseason. You go right from your college season to training, draft. It's just like, holy cow, when is this thing going to slow down for me? And it doesn't through that whole first year for all these players. And then you get to that second offseason, it's like, okay, I've had a chance to breathe. I've gone through an offseason program. Now I'm in OTAs for the second time. I think there's huge jumps for those guys.
It's just so refreshing, too, to hear a football coach actually sound smart and not just say, we'll see, I don't know, he has an arm. Kellen Moore definitely sounds smarter than Dennis Allen. And then, of course, there was that viral video of NFL insider Albert Breer saying NFL coaches around the NFL believe Spencer Rattler is an NFL starting quarterback. This was February 13th, around the time Kellen Moore was hired. We did a whole video covering this exact video in this clip, but I thought I'd bring it up once again.
There are a lot of people. Remember, a ton of coaches watch Saints tape this offseason, right? Yeah. Because they have head coaching vacancy and people are studying the roster. I heard a lot of positive things from those coaches about Spencer Rattler. When they went through the tape and they saw a guy who looks like he can be a potential future starter in the league. Last year,
he definitely has a talent to do so. He just has to kind of put everything together, polish up a few things. And honestly, we want to see him in an actual NFL situation and not with third-string practice squad players, because that will help the evaluation.
I was at the Monday night game when they got shut out by the Packers. And, I mean, Spencer Rattler was throwing to, literally one of the coaches walked up to me pregame, and I'm like, how's Spence doing? He goes, he's doing good. He's got to meet these guys he's throwing to tonight. But, literally, they were down to the nubs of practice squad guys. MVS was out that night. I mean, their entire team was hurt. They had no offensive line, no wide receivers. But the tape for Rattler was pretty good. When you're maxed out on the...
I agree. I think there's some really good things on his tape, and also there's some things that, it's not there. But maybe it could be there with the right development and coaching. So this is a huge opportunity for Spencer Rattler, but there's also a big opportunity for the Saints to draft a quarterback as well. For the first time in the first 2 rounds in 56 years. The last time they drafted a QB in the first 2 rounds was Arch Manning. And now the Saints have an opportunity to break that cycle and draft one in the first 2 rounds of this year. Recently, there's been a lot of smoke between the Saints and Shedeur Sanders within the media and just people putting pieces together and saying that it'd be a good fit, and I'd honestly love it as well. I like Spencer Rattler, I like the talent, and I also like Shedeur Sanders, and I like the talent, and I'd love the watch and the personality. He'd bring juice and energy to the team. I can like both of them. I'm not opposed to drafting one, and I'm not opposed to going towards Spencer Rattler. Just go all in with the direction that you go in, and don't be like 50% Rattler and 50% a QB we draft. Go all in on the decision that you're going to be making. If the Saints do end up taking a QB in the draft, I just hope it's because they like a guy and they really want him on the team, and not just feeling forced to take one because of the Derek Carr injury, and not just taking one because they're desperate for a quarterback. If you're going to take a QB, take a guy that you really like. Quarterback is the #1 need for the Saints right now, but they also have a need basically everywhere else on the roster. And if they don't want to reach or force a pick at the 9th overall selection, then take an offensive or defensive line or cornerback or whatever it may be. Don't force a pick. Don't force a reach of a pick. Take a guy who you like, and if he's not there, or if there's not a QB there at 9 that you like, then go draft an offensive lineman or Ashton Genty to build around Spencer Rattler if that's the direction that it leads you to. They could also take a guy in the later rounds as well if they like to have him compete with Spencer Rattler. They've been doing a lot of homework on these guys recently. Jackson Dart, Will Howard, Tyler Show out of Louisville, and Kyle McCord. These are all names that the Saints have been linked to quite a bit. Obviously, the draft is one option for the Saints to add to their QB room. Another option is through free agency, and I do think they need to sign a veteran quarterback just to get a veteran quarterback in a young quarterback room, and I think it would be smart to do so. Some of the current free agent quarterbacks right now on Spot Rack, these are the only ones listed. Aaron Rodgers would be very, very interesting. I'd prefer not, though. We might do a video about that possibility in the next few days. Carson Wentz, I think, wouldn't be bad. I think he has worked with Kellen Moore before. Easton Stick also worked with Kellen Moore before. That could be an option. Teddy Bridgewater would be cool. Beathard, Huntley, Rippon, Driscoll, Ritter. They got to sign a free agent veteran quarterback. My personal preference would probably be Carson Wentz. I think that'd be my ideal choice of this group, but we'll see. There's a huge opportunity, though, for Spencer Rattler right now with Derek Carr being injured. The Saints, who knows what they're going to do during the draft, and if they don't take one, his odds of being the starting quarterback increase significantly. As of right now, he is the starter, but we'll see if that changes within the next month or so. And let me know down in the comments what you think the Saints should do at QB. Should they just go all in on Rattler this year? Should they draft someone, sign a veteran, and have him start? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Peace.